I'm Jose, and this is the Cinematic Dogma podcast. I'm joined as every week by my good friend Blake.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me, Jose. I'm happy to be here.
I like that you make it sound as it's like, oh, thank you for having me. This is a special occasion. And it's like, come on.
It's like, I love that. Did you watch Gilmore Girls?
No.
So the guy who plays the Gilmore's dad, he's in like every episode. He's in the entire series, but he insisted that he be listed as guest star in every episode. So I'd like to be the guest star of this podcast every episode. Thank you.
That's fair. That's fair. It's like what people can like look forward to at the beginning of the credits about like, oh yeah, Blake is there. Blake is there.
All
pretty
right.
sure. Yeah, pretty sure that he brought some opinions with him.
It's going to be a good episode.
Is this one? This is the one that is good. Okay, so what did we watch this time?
For this episode, we watched the 2016 comedy drama film, as described on Wikipedia, Toni Erdmann, written and directed by, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, but I think it's Maren Ade. At least that's how it looks to my silly American mind.
I think that it is also that, but I'm also like a bit afraid of reading it out loud because it sounds like marinade.
Ooh, maybe her parents were practical jokers.
Maybe. And maybe that's where she got the inspiration for this movie.
That's why she was so angry and wrote and directed this film.
Yeah. But yeah, this was my pick, I think. And the reason why I picked it is because recently the New York Times, they came with a list of the top 100 movies of this century, now that we are 25 years into it. And we watched most of them, or we knew of most of them, and this was like one of the very few that we have very limited exposure about. And also at the same time, a friend of mine, he recommended it a month ago. And he was like, oh, just check the trailer. We saw the trailer. Oh yeah, this looks interesting. And we completely forgot it until we saw that list at the New York Times. And you didn't watch it either, so it was a bit of a blind pick, but at least with some, I don't know how to say, like some backup. Like it was not like randomly, it's like we don't know absolutely anything. It's more like we don't know absolutely anything. But the New York Times and this friend of mine considered that it's good, so maybe it is.
And was it? Was
I
it,
don't
Jose?
know. I don't know. For now, I think that we should summarize it.
All right. So I will summarize it since it was your pick. But the film's protagonist, we'll call, is named Winfried. Sorry, these names are all I'm not gonna do well with these names. But the main character, the man we follow around the entire film, his name is Winfried.
Winfried, yeah.
And he is a divorced teacher who is like off. He's just a little different. He likes to do these bizarre pranks that involve obviously fake personas with like fake teeth and wigs, and he's just kind of a weird dude. So
But he's not obnoxious about it. He doesn't get to obnoxious levels.
I guess that's a personal, where is your line for obnoxiousness? Yep. That's fair. I found him obnoxious in some situations, but it's not like he's way over the top. He's just like that guy that you meet that's just a little weird, and you don't quite get his jokes, but he makes them, and he's endearing because he makes jokes, not because of the jokes.
No, because they land.
Yes.
It's because he tries.
Exactly. So at a birthday party, and I may have missed this, it's for whom? His ex-wife?
For her. No, for her daughter.
Oh, it's for her?
For his daughter.
Oh, okay. Yep. So he goes to a birthday party for his daughter, who is named Inez.
Yeah.
I should have written all this down. And so we see the two interact for the first time, and their separation, like the space between them, is just so remarkable, even that in that first scene. So we learn that Inez is a contractor working in Romania. She lives in, I always
Bucharest.
mix up Budapest and Bucharest.
Bucharest.
Yeah. She lives in Bucharest.
No worries. I went like through the thing. I'm like, did she say Budapest? No, she said Bucharest. Like, Oh yeah, that's right. It's a different city.
And
It took me like a second.
Budapest is where?
It's in Hungary.
Hungary. And Bucharest is Romania. I swear
Romania,
to you,
yeah.
I know where all 197 countries are.
I know.
I
I'm
just
not
don't know
doubting your
capitals.
geographical.
All right.
I'm not calling you American right now, okay?
So we get a little background on Inez. She is an ambiguous consultant consulting an oil firm, and we immediately see this contrasting comparison between her kind of, let's call her dad messy in that physically he's kind of disheveled, he has these strange jokes, and his daughter is so tight. She clearly has, a stick up her ass. And she leaves to go back to Bucharest, and then her dad just kind of like shows up there after his dog dies. And she obviously doesn't want him there. And he's kind of offended, but, tries to have a good attitude. And so they say goodbye. She thinks he left. And then he just shows up in her life as one of these fake personas with a bad wig and false teeth, and kind of like injects himself pretty aggressively into her life, mostly professional. Oh, and sorry, when he comes back as this alter ego, his name is Toni Erdmann, which is where we get the title. And so Toni is mostly injecting himself into her professional life and kind of just like sowing insanity and anarchy in these very subtle ways. But it's not like he's doing it. He like puts the bait out there and kind of lets her decide how much chaos she's going to accept. And it turns out that she's open to a lot of chaos.
Oh, yes.
And this movie is less than 10 years old, and so I don't really want to spoil it anymore, but if there's anything you think I left out that was important, basically Toni and her build some sort of relationship, and she decides she might be ready for a change, and we see where they go from there.
Yeah, I think that's enough. I mean, probably we'll talk about like something else, but I think that at the end is jinxings. It's called. Oh, what is the name of? Not jinxings, but it's a bit more of shenanigans that they happen.
Hijinxes. Yeah.
Hijinxes. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, like multiple of them. There is a resolution, and that's it. I mean, it's even like before watching the movie, you can imagine what the resolution is going to be from the trailers. No spoiler alerts, but it's like this is not a movie about revolutionizing anything. But I think that's a very good summary. What do you think? Did you like it?
I did. I liked this film. I wouldn't say that I really enjoyed it. But I do. So you spoke earlier about how we had limited exposure to this film. I remember very clearly now that I've seen the film, seeing this trailer, must have been in 2015-16, and just thinking, hey, that looks like a feel-good, let's watch a daughter and a father grow closer together film that I will never, ever watch. And I feel disappointed in myself because I should have known that there was going to be that like hard right turn into something fucked up, right? Because this film is by a German.
Maren Ade. Okay.
Well, it's German, right? She's German?
Yeah, okay. It's German. So you were expecting to have a right turn to something fucked up?
No, I was not. I wrote the film off because of the trailer, thinking it was more of a feel-good father and daughter reuniting.
It didn't have like a right turn to something fucked up.
What?
I didn't feel. I mean, okay. I think that where you're going is like I know what a scene you're talking about.
It's not just a scene. She just kind of let's put a spoiler tag in from this point.
Okay, let me just spoil like a spoiler at this point. What are you talking about?
He takes the pin out of a grenade and then hands it to her and gives her the choice to like blow up her life, and she does.
She actually like boycotts herself.
She what?
She boycotts herself. Is that she actually like does like a very, very unprofessional comment in public about like what are the intentions that they have. So she started like boycotting herself at work. I think that it may be like a subconscious thing of having his father around. She's realizing about like, I don't like my life. I don't like what I'm doing, But at the end, it's a bit of a feel-good kind of thing about like, she starts valuing different things. She ends up like going to another job at the end that she knows she's not going to be like so well paid or so glamorous, but it's better for her. And she mentions it.
I don't know. Maybe you're right. The way you're describing it just makes it seem like she had some realizations and decided to have a more fulfilling life. That's not the movie I saw. Like at some point she just invites all of her coworkers over for a business brunch and she just answers the door naked and invites them all in. That's not just, you know what?
Party.
I shouldn't be working for an oil company. Why don't I go volunteer with Greenpeace? That's not the sort of like character arc we see here. It's like,
Dude,
hey,
like,
she's going to blow up her life.
Look, just look at the first scene. Well, I'm just checking the trailer right now as I have IMDb open. Like the scene where they are by the swimming pool in the spa. And she has like a literal, not a stick, it's like a lamp directly up her ass.
Sure,
like,
she was uptight
bad.
and she decides to be kind of insane. That's all
Maybe,
I'm saying.
But it's not the same insanity that the father has. I could envision like the father doing something like what she did about like, hey, I'm going to be inviting people for a birthday party and I'm going to surprise them with like, hey, this is a naked birthday party.
Yeah, I think you and I agree at this point. But that's why I said that he pulls the pin out of her grenade, or pulls the pin out of the grenade and hands it to her. And it's like, hey, do you want to disrupt your life with some shenanigans or hijinks, as you said? And she was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to show my vagina to my boss.
But one thing, we're fully on the spoiler territory, and this is a movie that is 2 hours and 42 minutes. So it takes like 2 hours and 30 minutes for getting to this scene. Let's be honest.
And it
takes a while.
Yes. It'll be interesting to discuss that question later because
we have pretty sure that we have the same feelings about that one. But it's not only about her doing that, it's also a bit more of everyone else, because even his boss shows up naked afterwards. He's like, okay, I'm going to do it. It's a bit of an absurd comedy when you get there, because initially when the scene started, it's like, oh my gosh, she's having like a very serious mental breakdown right now. And then it went into this kind of absurd comedy, even like when the father shows up like a Sesame Street monster. It just feels like, okay, dude, they're going like all into absurd territory. It's like they are like just emphasizing the part. It's like she's reconnecting with the joy of just like being a joker too. And the last scene when they are back in where do they live? In Berlin?
I don't know the answer to that question, to be honest.
I don't remember if it was in Berlin, but wherever like the father lives, is like they meet up again there, and she starts like just wearing the teeth and doing like something crazy. Is that basically she regress in some form to be daddy's daughter, daddy's princess, into just a miniature version, female version of him?
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't think we're supposed to know.
I don't know if it's like healthier or not, but she choosing the other job and just like embracing that it's like fuck everything, seeing how stressed and how unhappy she was.
But what about the oil company in Bucharest? How will they get by without the consulting?
Well, they were going to be outsourcing everything, so they can also source that. It's not such a big deal. So, I don't know, I just feel like, hey, from the trailer, it's true. I wouldn't foresee that she was going to have a naked birthday party with her boss, but I would foresee that, she's going to be embracing all of these randomness that the father had as a way of being human again.
What did Von Trier call this? Spazzing?
Spazzing?
Spazzing is the verb in English they use to describe what the idiots do in Lars von Trier's. Which is exactly what they did. They invite them and said, you need to go out and sow chaos into your normal lives and spaz. And that's what she did.
Oh God.
You know it's true. I saw a lot of similarities between this film and The Idiots. A lot.
Okay. Are we done with the spoilers?
I'm never done with the spoilers, but I'll rein it in. Yes, we'll be done.
Okay.
Close spoiler tag, please.
Okay. Spoiler said. So now let's just talk, without getting into the spoiler territory again, about the similitudes with The Idiots.
I mean, what I see in... There's so many of the same things. So, like, there's a woman who's not happy in her life. She finds access to a group or a person with radically different thoughts and practices than her own. She has the choice to embrace it or not embrace it. But the influence is like, you should go into your life and create chaos and disrupt everything because this is, a higher purpose. And it's true, Toni or her dad is not telling her to go do this. Again, this is why he's like, hey, do you want a little chaos in your life? And she's like, yep, let's blow things up.
Well, one I seen towards the beginning, this is not going to be a spoiler, but we see how Weiner, the father, Winfried, is retiring. And he used to be a piano teacher or a musical teacher at a school, like a middle school? Or elementary?
Yeah, not quite high school.
Yeah, and it's like his farewell concert is basically putting like makeup to all of the kids and himself as they were, I don't know, like discount being versions of Kiss members.
And this is something I find interesting. The line he walks, the way I described him in the synopsis is he's off, right? That's how we would describe him in English. This is not like a guy you would want around children, to be honest. If we were in real life, and you have a kid and you're going to his kid's school concert and the dad did that to your kid, are you saying, yeah, let's keep him? He's going to keep things crazy in the classroom. No, it's like this guy is too off to really... And I will add, and then I'll let you talk. I had a hard time understanding where this was absurd filmmaking, and where this was just German, and I'm not lying.
It's exactly what I was going to say. It's like, I think that there may be something cultural. I think that this is the equivalent, like the sense of humor, maybe like the German equivalent to the Monty Python. Like the Monty Python is like embracing like the absurdity that a lot of the British humor has, like to the extreme. I think that this is a representative of... I mean, that's what I think. Is like, maybe this is something that German people will be like, okay, it's a bit off, but it's funny. We don't see too many people laughing with him either.
Yeah, it's because this is a cringe. It's a film that makes you cringe.
Yes.
On purpose. Yes. For 2 hours and 40 minutes.
And I'm going to be mentioning something. Not too long ago, we watched Friendship. That it was also a cringe movie. I thought about it many, 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 many times while I was watching this movie. And not only because it was 2 hours and 45 minutes, but also because they were like sometimes like, this is borderline cringe territory. But there is something that this movie does differently from Friendship. That is almost like, hey, it's not the purpose. The purpose is not about like making you like feel uncomfortable per se watching it. I had the feeling that is I want this to be a heartfelt movie, a feel-good movie. While Friendship is that I want you to feel bad watching this. I want you to feel uncomfortable. And I didn't really feel uncomfortable when I watched this movie. I was like, okay.
I totally see what you say. Maybe it's just that while there are things that are absurdist about it, it's firmly rooted in realism and in characters that you can understand for the most part.
Yeah.
I didn't understand any of the characters in Friendship.
I think that all of them, they were caricatures, basically. Yeah, but no, you're right. I think that it's more about injecting this guy that it may be slightly off a practical Joker into the real world.
And now that we're talking about it, you can very much identify with Inez and Winfred. Like their characters, their relationship has gotten to a place that's uncomfortable, but is very real. Like all of it could clearly happen at any moment. I guess what you're saying is it's easy to have empathy for both of these characters, like super easy. Yep. Whereas friendship is just too out there to like, you just don't care about any of them.
No. I think that when they wrote Friendship, they didn't want anyone to care about those characters.
That was the point.
No, it's not the point. The point is not care. The point is suffering. The point is feeling uncomfortable. And here is about caring about it. Is that you can understand, like, you know, she's like an overachiever that is trapped in an unhappy life. And
also
Winfred is
rebelling against who her father is by becoming the opposite, and then ultimately making a decision about who she wants to be.
Yeah, we are out of the spoiler tag. Don't make me create another spoiler tag, but yes. But yeah, so did you have a good time watching it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so this is a movie that I would leave the theaters and be like, this was more interesting than anything else that I could watch right now, or more interesting than most things. It's a very interesting experience in general, and it's hard to give you kind of like an uncomfortable but empathetic experience. You can tell the skill of the director, who also wrote the script, which, you know, always impresses me.
Yep. I had to say that I didn't like it as much. I think that it started pretty well, and I'm more or less engaged by it. But when all of the hijinks started one after another and escalating and the likes, it got to a point that just lost me. And I was like, look, I just want this to end, honestly. Because once again, 2 hours and 45 minutes.
I don't disagree with you there. They could have toned the script down by several awkward events between Inez and her coworkers. Several.
Yes. And the thing is, like, we don't meet Toni Erdmann until what, an hour and 30 minutes into the movie?
Is it that long?
It's pretty long. There is like a really, really, really large intro, you know?
Huh. That's too much. I'll say that to the director right now.
Yeah, so the first act for me was a bit more about like, okay, this is pretty long for then like transitioning into this comedy of absurds and then just having like a short resolution at the end. It just felt like the pacing could have been better. So I don't know. I expected more after. I was expecting like some kind of underdog of a movie, and what I found is that this was the indie darling of the year, and it happened to be an indie, so like an internationally indie darling.
I do see, just understanding American cinephiles, the way they cling to a certain type of European film. Like, this is exactly like, oh, it's awkward and then it gets more awkward. This is wonderful.
Yep. But it's also like some cinephiles that are going to be like giving more credit to movies that they are international.
So even though you didn't enjoy it as much as you thought, do you respect the effort?
I respect the effort, but it didn't click with me. You know, so what about if we go over the questions?
All right, let's do it.
So, like, would you watch Toni Erdmann again?
I think that I would, in at least a year's time. Yes, I would watch it one more time. But I want to be clear, I would give it one more shot. This is not like, let's revisit this every 3 years.
Yeah. It's not like something that you feel like, hey, every single time that I watch it again, I'm going to get more. in my case, I wouldn't rewatch it.
That's pretty uncommon for you. I feel like you answer yes to most things. Yeah.
I think that it's like if it's more than 2 hours, and you and I like discuss about it. It's about like it has become. I think that technology has taken over our lives in such a, I don't know, abusive way. That now, I think that my attention span, if the movie is over 2 hours, you better deserve that runtime.
I agree. There are movies that are, that much work to watch, but the payoff is good enough. This is not a good enough payoff for 2 hours and 45 minutes. Or sorry, 2 hours and 45. Good
Lord. Yeah. Is that this is almost as long as Magnolia.
And definitely not the same payoff. So,
well, I can tell you that if you were to ask me, do you still remember Magnolia? I only remember the ending.
It's because there's 79 plot lines in that film. That's not the fault of the film.
Fair. Okay, fair. But no, I don't think that I watch it again. I think that is a movie that I don't think that I would extract more from it. And even if we didn't agree if this woman was going crazy or whatever, is that I didn't finish the movie saying, oh, you know what this needs? Like rewatching it completely, because this is what I care about. Like just understanding the motivations and like the thinking of that woman. It's like, no, it doesn't deserve 2 hours and 45 minutes for that.
Not at all.
Yeah. Would you recommend it?
I'm going to say no. And just because I can't think of a situation, I can't, where I'd be like, oh, have you seen Toni Erdmann? Maybe someone said, hey, I liked Anatomy of a Fall. I really like that actress. Do you know any other movies she's in? Then I would say this. Oh, see, I haven't seen that one. So I would have to go to this film.
Yeah. Sandra Hüller. I think that's Hüller. I think that I saw it in something else too, besides Son of Interest and Anatomy of a Fall and this one. But my answer is no. Honestly, it's like, and I think that actually, like, even your analogy with the Idiots, you made me recommend the Idiots before this one, and you know that I wouldn't recommend the Idiots.
I'm going to put that on a T-shirt. I'd recommend the Idiots. Jose.
I would recommend the Idiots before Toni Erdmann. That is not saying a lot. But no, I cannot think, because if it's a story about a son or a daughter like reconnecting with their parents, there are hundreds of feel-good movies out there that they make this come across in a better way, in a more direct way, So, I don't know. I just have a hard time imagining a conversation like that. Would you remember it?
This one's hard. So will I remember the basic plot, that it's a mother or a daughter reconnecting with her dad in a weird way? Yes. Whether I'll remember the 17 awkward business meetings that she invites her dad to? No.
Oh yeah, don't get me started with that part about like why are you rolling with this? But whatever. I'm going to go with yes, because it's only like watching the trailer and you already know the movie.
That's a good point. Like if I saw the trailer, would it all ring a bell? Yes.
Yeah, it's true. You want to still remember like all of the scenes, but you would definitely like know all of the story beats. Is there anything artistic about it?
Yes. There's a lot. I would say the acting, but I also am impressed with there are problems in my opinion, but the script, to come out of this director's mind and then for her to be able to like craft this into what it was is remarkable, I think.
I'm going to go with just two, but I'm going to just stick to the acting.
She's so good.
I think that she's really good. About like how you can taste her internal tension without her exploding. That is like what you're expecting her. Like similar to Anatomy of a Fall, when we see that.
Do you remember how cold and bitchy she is? She was so good.
Yeah, she's a really good actress, and I wish that I, know her filmography a bit better. But I think that she does it like really well, and the actor is also amazing, like the one that does the father, that is
Oh, yeah.
like dancing that balance in between endearing and super cringe. That is like, okay, this is way harder than what Tim Robinson does in Friendship.
Okay, so yes for the acting. And you've got nothing for the direction.
I feel like it's a very functional direction.
All right.
I don't feel like it's anything that is a, oh yeah, I'm going to remember like the cinematography was amazing. It's just functional. It's like, you're not going to like that I say this. It's like Mike League. I feel like the directing is fine. Is that it is solid, and this is also like solid directing, but it's nothing that I could say is like, oh yeah, this was like the centerpiece. I think that for Mike League is more like the acting and the script, more than the.
You shut your goddamn
text.
mouth about Mike Lee. He's
Okay.
a treasure. No, I see
is.
what you say. It's not like the thing you notice first and foremost. I get it.
Yeah. Do you think that Toni Erdmann is a timeless piece?
Yes, it will be received the same today and in 50 years.
Well, I don't know. Maybe AI would change everything in 3 years' time, but at least I think that the values that this movie is describing are going to be always there. Is that
Yep.
we connect or we don't connect with our parents anymore when we get to specific ages, but at the end, is that all of the values, regardless of how bizarre they were, and they are still inside of us.
Yep.
Would you turn this into a TV show?
I've spent enough time in this universe. I think we can just leave it alone. Leave it as is. No, thank you.
I had a feeling that there are limited shows out there that they have a shorter runtime than this movie.
That's very true. I mean, this could be 6 30-minute episodes.
Yep. So, no, there is no need because it could have already been a TV show. There is no need for expanding this universe. Could this have been a short?
This is the question that I just started to ask myself the second the film ended. I don't think so. I don't think that this could be less than 60 minutes. You could cut it down, but you have to spend the time in their world. You have to spend enough time for this to make sense, and I don't think she could have done that in under an hour.
Well, you're saying that this makes sense.
What makes sense?
You're saying that is that you have to spend this time in this world for it to make sense.
No, you have to spend enough time in this world to join the inertia of the story, in my opinion.
Okay. Hey, I'm going to go with yes. I think that you could do like the core story beats way faster.
But the
You could
whole
have, like,
film, you could
compressed
have
it.
it be under 60? You really think so?
I think so. I think that you could remove like a lot of things. I think that there are like many details and many story beats that they are in place for just giving more texture to the characters. But I think that you could remove it and still the story beats could carry this forward.
All right.
You know, it's
Agree
like
to
we don't-
disagree, Jose. Agree
Sure.
to disagree.
Do we have to see like a 3-minute concert with kids dress up as heavy metal rock members? No, we don't.
All right. Well,
Do
you
we
just
need
cut
to
it down to 2 hours and 42 minutes. So
Okay. Let me just start. Let me get it started. No, but I think that the core of the story can be like compressed, like much more. It's like, true, it could be like 50 minutes probably, but I don't think that is like one of these slow burn movies, as we were saying earlier, that is the emotional payoff from what you invested. It comes from the runtime.
it's
This
no the
is not the
Turing
Turing
horse.
horse.
Thank you. Thank you for saying it. It needed to be said.
It's not worthy, but at least there is an emotional payoff. Okay. Do you think that this movie could have been better?
Yeah. Editing.
Yeah. Yeah, and now without being cheeky, I think that it would have been super easy to remove 45 minutes in this movie.
Yeah. I agree. Agreed.
So, Do you have a favorite cheese grater?
I don't. I really don't.
Well, it's something that it can make you happy. Okay?
Yep.
It's
I mean, we learned a lot from the film. There were a lot of moments that taught us about life.
Sure, if you want to put it like that, yes.
When I come to Chicago, I fully expect you to open the door naked and just say,
It's
naked
a party.
now. It's a party.
It's a party. It's a naked party. Didn't you receive the memo? Okay, so should we score this movie?
We should. This was your choice, more or less. So I'll score first. I started this conversation at a 7. I'm going to go down to a 6.5.
Okay. My score is a 6.
Huh.
Yeah, no, not that different. Not that different. It's more like the last part. I just want it to be done so much with it.
I mean, I started this conversation saying I don't know that I enjoyed it, but I liked the experience. It's an experience I'm glad that I have.
Yeah, maybe we should. No, I mean, there is like a question that we could add, but it's like most of the time it's going to be no. That is like, do you regret watching this movie? And I think that the answer for you on this one is like, you don't regret watching this movie.
Brazil.
Sure, and you will be wrong, but it's your call. It's that you personally regretted it, and it's fine. The same like for me and the touring horse. It's like 3 hours that I'm never getting back.
There's a lot. Let's be cops.
No, I cannot regret watching it because I only watched 15 minutes of it. So
that's true.
Here you go. Thank you for that, for giving me a way out.
You're welcome.
But yeah, no, I don't regret watching it, but definitely I wouldn't watch it again.
All right.
So, yeah. All right. Anything else to say about Toni Erdmann?
No, good pick. I am interested about it appearing on that New York Times list.
Who actually chose it?
Yeah, it's not the worst film, but it's certainly not the best of the 21st century.
It's more of it's such a non-mainstream pick that I was expecting. I mean, for example, like the touring horse, Bellatar. I'm not his favorite fan, but it's like, I don't regret watching it. It was an experience. It was a roller coaster of nothingness, but it was something artistic. This one, it feels like, hey, you're taking this as a bit of your cool pick that you're going to be like impressing everyone with.
That's what I suspect.
Yeah, because it's not that good. So yeah, and I think that actually made us step into it with a bit of preconceived expectations that this movie cannot really live up to, and I think that it's not even creative to live up to crazy expectations.
Yeah, it's not even in the realm of, is this in the top 10 or is it? We're aware it's not.
And I think that Maren Ade was aware that it was not.
That's why she stopped making films after this.
This is my pick. Alright, to everyone out there, thank you so much for listening to us.
And until next time.